one day you said, Kristie, I want to be baptized.
Yeah.
So we actually did a water baptism at Ashley Manor for those that couldn't leave. But you said, no, I don't want to do the baptism at Ashley Manor. I want to come to your church and be baptized. And I said, well, Cindy, you have to be able to get up and down the stairs in the baptism. Do you feel like you can do that? And you said, yes, I'm going to do it. Yeah. So walker in hand, but you got down the stairs and you got up the stairs and you were baptized here at Life Church. God did that.
Hey, I'm Mac Mayer. Glad to connect with you again. We like to talk about all things outreach, talk about outreach ministries and how real life is out in our community. There's needs, and that we believe we as a church can impact others with our passions, with our gifts, with our skills, that we can be the answer to other people. And today I've got two amazing friends. You're going to enjoy this conversation. I know I'm really looking forward to it. So can I have you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Cindy Lazardi.
And I'm Kristie McCaleb.
And Kristie, you've got a ministry.
Yes.
And what is your ministry?
So the ministry is called the Senior Campus Outreach.
Okay.
And we have church services at senior communities.
About 11 different facilities?
That is correct.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and so we just provide church services on Sunday morning. We also have some Bible studies and some door-to-door visits going on.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Cindy, tell us a little bit about your story. Kind of give us the streamlined version of your story, because we want to hear how you guys interacted. First off, were you at one of the facilities that Kristie ministers to?
An assisted living, Ashley Manor.
Okay, you were in an assisted living facility, and you've been there how long?
4 years.
4 years. Now, I understand you had maybe kind of a bumpy life before.
Real bad. Homeless since I was 10.
Homeless since you were 10.
Well, from 10 to 27.
10 to 27, you're homeless.
Because I had a bad addiction of heroin and cocaine.
Woo! Oh, bless your heart, girl.
I was 10 years old. They stuck a needle in my arm, told me it was candy, and they just kept feeding it to me. They never told me to get away from it. They just kept giving it to me.
And tell them about how that the Lord touched you when you were 27.
I was in this an apartment. I had a balcony. I was having coffee. I was ready to go fix because I got to cure my bones, Yeah. So I was on a 1/4 gram of heroin, a 1/2 gram of cocaine, just to cure my bones in the morning, And no, God said, boom, he banged me in the head. I mean, he hit me hard.
Okay.
And he said, that was it. He said, you're done.
You're done. He took that addiction away.
No.
No? Okay.
No sick, no nothing. I didn't go through withdrawals. Nothing.
Wow.
That's incredible.
I was on that stuff for a long time.
And he delivered you.
And God said that was it.
That's it. You're delivered. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's a amazing, merciful God that he loves you.
Yeah, he sure does. Yeah.
He does. He does. So what happened that you ended up in this assisted living facility?
I was in Redding, California.
Yeah.
Living in my apartment, had Section 8 and all that stuff.
Okay.
And one day we had to leave and be with my grandboys, and I came to Boise.
Okay.
And I had nowhere to go, so I went into an assisted living.
Now did you have a car wreck, or there's something that happened to you physically that got you in there?
I was 60, I got hit by a car in New York.
Oh, wow.
I was doing 65 miles an hour when he hit me. He dragged me 173 feet, threw me 12 feet in the air. I was in a coma 8 months. I was in traction 18 months. They couldn't put me in a body cast. I was so broken up that they had me in chains like this for 18 months, to heal up.
Wow.
And I stayed 2 years in the hospital, New York hospital.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then eventually you ended up in this care facility, and you were there for how long again?
4 years.
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mercy sakes. Now, how did you guys connect at that care facility?
Well, I was in that care facility, and I knew I needed Jesus because there was nothing there, you know. I wasn't gonna die. I'm not ready to die, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ernesto, he
Okay.
mentioned her.
So somebody on your team, Kristie.
Yes, Ernesto was a leader of a team that would come and do church services.
And he talked Spanish, so we talked Spanish.
And he
I know.
speaks Spanish, so they would speak Spanish together.
Right.
And then Ernesto let me know that you needed some clothes.
Right.
So I found out your size, and I got a bag of clothes together, and
You wrote more than a bag.
well, a couple of bags. Yeah, a couple of bags. And I found out what room you were in,
Right.
and I brought those bags to you, and that was the first time that we met.
Yeah.
Oh my
was
goodness.
giving you those
and her daughter
clothes.
too.
And my daughter came as well and met you. Yes.
That's fabulous. So you didn't have any clothes. Kristie took that initiative.
Took it on like nothing.
You took it on like nothing. She's got such a big heart, you
Sure
know.
does.
She does. So she came in, interacted with you, got you the clothes. Man, that probably felt good.
Mm-hmm.
Sure did. I got tired of wearing the same thing over.
Every day, yeah. All right, so then what happened?
We became friends
Became friends?
from day one, huh?
Yeah, and tell them how that the reason why you continued to go to church, because you said you became friends with the teams that would come and provide church. You told me that before.
Ernesto, all of you guys.
Uh-huh.
So you were doing services there on a periodic basis.
You wouldn't come too much.
Yeah. There was other teams that are there, and I would just visit on occasion.
Okay, that makes
And-
Big
sense.
tall guy, the big
Yes.
white guy, yeah.
Yes.
He was a nice guy.
Mike.
Mike.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, another one, yeah.
Yes. And then Jackie, I believe, would come, and then also Sharon.
Tyrone, too, yeah.
So you started going to service. Did that impact your life, being around?
Yeah, but I kept telling Ernesto, I said, I need to find God, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, I need his strength in this place, you know,
Yeah.
because it's real sad in there.
Yeah. I'm sure it is pretty sad, hopeless. Like,
Very
is
sad.
this the rest of my life going to be here? And it probably felt like, well, it's not now. So let's see. And I heard, you're using a walker then?
Walker, because my left leg was broken in 3 places.
Okay.
And my pelvis is broken.
Pelvis, broken leg. It sounded like you were on
Jaw
a.
was over here.
Oh,
My
goodness.
shoulder was over here.
Yeah, she looked bad, but we continued to pray for you, and you started to trust the Lord.
Yeah.
really, you know,
I know. Things just
put
getting better.
your trust in the
Yeah.
Lord that He's getting you through and healing you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were on some. I bet you were on some prescription stuff at that time.
36 pills in the morning, 17 pills in the afternoon, and 36 pills at night.
Oh, mercy, girl!
I don't know what I was taking.
You don't even need a meal if you're taking 36 pills in the morning. It sounds like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know.
That was terrible.
That was terrible. So, are you still in that facility or not?
I moved to Mountain Home. I got my own place.
Oh my gosh.
And Gracie helped me a lot.
Okay, so tell me about that. So you moved out, and Kristie, how were you able to help her with the place? What?
Yeah. Well, she bought this place and put a down payment on it, but then was struggling, to.
And this was a trailer.
It was a trailer.
Okay, so it was awesome. Have you ever owned your own place to live
This
before?
is my first time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So first time ever you've owned
Anything.
a home, anything to live in, and you had the down payment, and then
And so anyway, she was, struggling to make the remainder of the payment because she had
I asked my church.
a deadline.
Mhm.
So her and I talked, and what was neat is the Lord had already prepared me that, okay, there's going to be someone that you're going to give a big donation to.
Oh.
And so the Lord had already prepared my heart.
okay.
And then when you talked to me and said you needed that, I was like, okay, well, Lord, is this it?
Right.
I did take some time to pray and ask the
Yeah, it
Lord,
took about a week.
is this it? And then it was like, yep, this is that's what the Lord wanted
Yeah.
for you.
That's what God said.
And so we went ahead and provided the rest of the payoff through the funds with the senior ministry.
And so that home is paid off. So you've got a place and it's paid off.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So, hey, when you bought this place in Mountain Home, I understand that it needed some repairs. It needed a lot of repairs. And so, Kristie, how did that happen? Did you facilitate some of those things, or what
I
happened there?
did. So what's so great is, our church has a outreach ministry called His Handy Helpers.
Okay.
And so I reached out to John, the leader of that, and I asked him if his ministry would be able to help Cindy out in her home. And so he brought some people out there to get some really necessary work done. It's winter, it's cold,
Right.
and one of her bedroom didn't have any heat in it.
Back, remember I showed it to you?
The back room, and so they were able to put in a whole heat vent into her bedroom, and so now it's nice and toasty warm in there.
Good. That probably was meaningful, huh?
It's awesome.
Yeah, good.
I spent the whole last winter freezing, no windows, no nothing. It was cold.
Goodness sakes.
Yeah, it was real cold.
Well, and I love that. I love those testimonies when I hear about how our ministries are working together and overlapping, because that's an amazing team of guys and women that know the trades, love to do repairs, and love to help in any way they can. And once again, you were a fruit of that ministry also.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's very good. Thanks for sharing that, because it is important that we're all working together as ministries in the body of Christ.
Yeah.
Well, now let me ask you, you were on 36 pills in the morning, 17 and 36. So how many pills are you on today?
Nothing.
Whew, come on, girl.
I'm on all vitamins.
You take vitamins now.
Vitamins, yeah.
So oh my goodness, that's fantastic.
And mushroom coffee.
And what?
And mushroom.
Mushroom coffee. Okay. I've never had mushroom coffee, so maybe I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's a good antioxidant.
It's very good.
Yes, yeah.
Antioxidant.
Yeah.
Oh, we appreciate that. All right. Well, good. So do you think if you wouldn't have ran into Kristie and the team, do you think you'd still be at that assisted living?
If I didn't, no, I don't know. Yeah, well, kind of in a way. I didn't want to stay because I wasn't dying. What scared me is when COVID came and 9 people died in our hall.
Oh.
So it scared me a lot.
Yeah.
And I said, no, this is not for me. I'm not dying,
Yeah.
Right. I'd love to get out of here, but how does that happen when I got no clothes, I got no place to live, I got nothing? How does that actually happen? But God was able to answer that for you.
Mm-hmm. God introduced me to Taylor.
Okay.
And Taylor was a med tech there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And every time she'd come to work, me and Taylor, I'd take her a chair and I sit by the med tech cart and we talk all night,
Mm-hmm.
As she worked graveyards, And every day we just became good friends after 4 years, And she kept telling me about this house. She has a house in Mountain Home that she rents rooms.
Okay.
And that always stuck in my head,
As a hope, as a way to get
out.
To get out, yeah.
So when I had to go, I called Taylor. I said, I need a place like right now.
Yeah.
And Taylor says, come on, let's go.
Okay.
So I moved to Mountain Home.
Awesome. So that got you into Mountain Home, and then able to buy the other home, and
Taylor's mom told me about that mobile home.
that was for sale.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her I didn't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
But I only had $2,600,
Yeah.
She says, well, give me that for down payment. She says, and we'll work out the rest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's awesome. And Kristie was able to help you figure out the rest.
Yeah. Did, yeah.
Yeah. Kristie, are there any other highlights that you see as part of Cindy's story that
Yeah. Well, when we were there at the senior community, I would say that one of the things I believe, and you can let me know if I'm wrong, that, sometimes you would come to service and then sometimes you wouldn't. And then we would notice.
And you'd come get me.
And we'd come get you.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'd say, okay, Cindy, I know you want to come to church, so come on.
I know.
And then yeah, I do.
Mm.
And then you,
because I'm upset,
Yeah, sure.
The place is very depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one day you said, Kristie, I want to be baptized.
Yeah.
Oh, now hold it.
And you got baptized in water.
About this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I got
Yeah.
baptized from your church,
So we actually did a water baptism at Ashley Manor for those that couldn't leave the facility.
I went to your church.
Yeah, but you said, no, I don't want to do the baptism at Ashley Manor. I want to
Okay.
come to your church and be baptized.
Okay.
And I said, well, Cindy, you have to be able to get up and down the stairs in the baptism. Do you feel like you can do that? And you said, yes, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So walker in hand, but you got down the stairs and you got up the stairs and you were baptized here at Life Church. God did that.
Yeah,
yes.
did that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
And it felt great. It was awesome.
that was a great experience. Powerful in your life.
Mm-hmm. Sure was.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you baptize other people at the,
We did.
yeah, that can't leave the center probably.
Yes.
And
So it started out, there was a gentleman who was came on hospice, and he would attend the services, and he wanted to be baptized, and so he let some of the team know, and they contacted me and said, this gentleman would like to be baptized.
Yeah.
And so I talked with the activity director. We got it all worked out. We had a little pool that he got in, and he had family members that came, and he got baptized. Well, once he got baptized, other residents saw that happen, and they said, we want to be baptized too.
Oh my goodness.
And so with the help of the activity coordinator, it was really great.
It's nice they'll work with you.
She worked with me, and we put a baptism service for whoever would like to be baptized. And, it was just a little pool, but then we were just able to have them sit down and pour water over their head and pray over them. And
that's
it was
special.
Yeah, it was really neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I remember seeing those photos. That was powerful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fantastic. Well, I'm glad that you got to partake in that, participate in. So you got saved, you got baptized, you got a home to live in, your health is better. Man.
And guess what?
Yeah.
You got a new boyfriend.
No, and you got a boyfriend too. Well,
I didn't expect that.
No, you just got all these blessings in your life of God moving you forward.
And tell them about your church in Mountain Home.
So I joined the church. I joined the Rock Church.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome church. Great.
Fantastic.
My pastor passed away, I don't know, about 3 months ago. Right?
Mm-hmm. And his daughter took over now.
Okay. She's only 23.
Wow.
And she took over. She
doing
great ministries because she passed Anna,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. Well, your whole life has changed, hasn't it, Cindy?
Jesus did that.
Jesus did that, didn't he? Yeah. But he used people like Kristie and Ernesto and these guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The whole team's awesome. Kristie's raised up an amazing team.
I don't know you guys.
Yeah.
At the church, I knew several, but more her than this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So any other closing thoughts? That maybe, Cindy, you'd have with people that have had a bumpy life and or need God's influence in their life? What would you say to them?
Always talk to God.
Yeah.
I always talk to him because he comes back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He'll help you, won't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kristie, what would you say to people that maybe have a passion or a heart for ministry, to maybe seniors or other people? Any tips that you would give people?
Yeah. Well, I would say that, sometimes when, people feel, called to do ministry, so much of the time they're just looking for the spectacular to take place.
Oh.
And when they don't see spectacular happen, they think, oh, well, I must not be doing the will of God. But when you're just reaching people like Cindy,
faithful,
just to be a friend, just to be a friend and to be an encouragement. It's like, okay, you might think, well, that's not spectacular. So you made a friend, you've become friends with a few people. But I would say that in the Lord's eyes, that is spectacular. That, we're ministering to people. And so I really believe that we really need to get our focus off of, just doing things that seem, amazing. Grandiose.
Yeah, exactly.
To, what? Let's just do the day-to-day.
Let's just love on people.
Blessing of just loving people and having relationship and encouraging
Have a
them.
conversation.
Because it's the day-to-day that person needs to have hope in. They don't need like some big grandiose thing in their life. They just need some hope day to day. So that's what I would encourage whoever does this type of ministry, that, you're going to be discouraged if you think, oh, what legacy am I going to leave with this? And you want something spectacular with it. Okay. You're going to be disillusioned. But if you just choose to just follow love and relationship, then that's what the Lord wants and is pleasing to him. And I believe that really makes a difference, and also then makes you feel fulfilled yourself, that you are doing something great, really, truly great. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Now, how many years have you been doing this ministry?
I've been doing this for 16 years. 16
years. That's amazing. So you've been very faithful for all these years of just coming along and doing life with people, loving them, encouraging them, meeting them where they're at. Well, and that's such a Jesus thing, because Jesus said, look, if you give somebody a cup of water in my name, if you visit them in jail, and there are so many aspects. Love people. Do you feel loved, girl?
I always feel loved.
Yeah, you feel like Miss Kristie loved on you?
I love Kristie.
Yeah, I know you do.
She's great.
Yeah, Jesus used her to change your life, didn't he? Yeah, get her out of that. Get you out of that. You got a lot of life left. Get you out of that facility, and you can live your life and connect with your boyfriend and see what God's got for you, right?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Finally found a nice guy after 30 years.
That's important too. And he goes to church with you?
No, that's one thing you don't do.
Well, maybe.
Well, we're praying for him.
That can happen too.
The Lord can change his heart.
Yeah, I keep talking to him about it.
Oh.
Yeah, well, good. Well, he's seen a miracle in your life.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for sharing with us today. Cindy, thanks for sharing your story. And Kristie, thanks for being faithful, just for the kingdom of God, just steadfast, continuing to impact lives. Because I know through your ministry, I see many testimonies of lives impacted, and that's powerful. And you're just one of the fruit of that, Cindy. So God bless you. Well, hey, I hope you guys have enjoyed this story today of impacted lives, and really how we all can be that influence to other people. And, really, if you're a pastor, if you're a church leader, if you're, I'd really pray about how God would use you or use that ministry, because I believe there's people like Kristie that have those gifts and callings on their life, and it's up to us as pastors to help them walk that out and fulfill that. And when we do, then we get to hear these amazing testimonies, just like we've heard with Cindy today. So I hope this has been powerful for you, and I just really encourage you to take those steps forward of what God would have you do. Or maybe you're thinking of other people that this would relate to. Be sure to share this video, share this podcast, like it, subscribe, and we want to bring you more stories of lives impacted. So thank you for being with us today, and I just want to thank you, Kristie, for being faithful, and Cindy, thank you so much for sharing your story. God bless you guys.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Thank you.